Hello everyone, welcome back with another new video, and today is a Bakrat vlog where I have compiled 3 days of my preparation and celebration together in this video. This time the Bakrat was a bit challenging and nice too, and very new to us. So thought of sharing our experience with you guys, so keep watching till the end without skipping the video. So I'm starting my vlog with Thursday night. So Thursday night itself I applied mehendi in my hands because Friday I'm going to be really busy with all my work and preps for the next day, Bakrat. So every time it happens to me like I just become exhausted from the work I do for the Bakrat or Eid, and then I just skip the mehendi part. I really love to do mehendi, but after Mishra came into my life, it is slightly a messy thing in my life, the mehendi thing, because the newborn baby will just not like all these things. So it's been like around 2 years since I applied mehendi in my hands, but I really love to do mehendi. During my school days I used to participate in a lot of mehendi competitions and I used to win prizes too, and my hands used to get filled up with mehendi like every week. Once it gets vanished away, the mehendi gets vanished away, I just used to fill it up again with the mehendi. I used to love mehendi so much. I like the smell of the mehendi, and this time it was just like going away and away and away. So this time I didn't want to skip that at all, so I applied on Thursday night itself. And the worst part for any mehendi lovers or the people who know to do mehendi is they can apply mehendi only on their left hand with their right hands. For their right hand nobody is there to apply, so it happens to me also. So I'm just applying an easy simple Arabic design in my left hand, and I'm going to allow it to dry overnight and take it out in the morning. So that's the whole design I did for my whole hand, and the next day morning this is how it looks. So colorful and nice. I'm so happy that I finally applied it after 2 years. So this is day 2 and we had some last minute shopping for Mishra and us, and so we went out. She was wearing the mask very nicely. I was so happy about it because nowadays it is very scary to take her out without mask. We also wanted to show you our Qurban. This is our Qurban. So I will explain about this Qurbani process in detail. So back home and starting to work for the next day. This is around 7 o'clock. So I thought I will just make all the sweets tonight itself and keep it ready, because tomorrow is going to be really busy in the Qurbani process and distribution of meat. All those work will be there. And I already prepared ginger garlic paste and all for the biryani. I have not covered that here. Today I'm making 2 kind of sweets. One is vatlappam. I already showed the video of that in the last week episodes. You can check out my iCard or description box for the link of vatlappam sweet. I'm also making custard pudding. So I've taken 250 ml milk for vatlappam and 250 ml milk for custard. This time I'm making vatlappam with only 3 eggs because I just want to finish it off in tomorrow's morning session itself, and the custard will be kept for afternoon biryani dessert. So I'm not making too many things as we will all be very heavily working and we will be filled with too many things. So I'm mixing the custard powder with the milk. I've taken 1.5 teaspoon of custard powder. I added the boiling milk into that. Mixed it together, adding that into the milk. Mix it well until there is no lump. Let that get boiled. And for the vatlappam milk, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of milk powder because this is only 250 ml of milk. Adding milk powder will actually thicken up the milk. The consistency of the vatlappam will be nice. So the custard is almost done. I just need to add some sugar. I've added 2 teaspoons of sugar. That was much enough for me. If you want to add more, you can add definitely. Oh my god, the milk is so hot for the vatlappam. So I'm removing it from the heat. So I'm also switching off the custard. That is also done. Let it all get cooled down completely. Now I need to soak some nuts for the vatlappam. If you are not a good planner in soaking the nuts overnight, you can do this tip. I just soak the nut with a boiling hot water, leaving it aside until I prepare the other dessert, and we will see how it becomes. So for the custard pudding, I need to take one sandwich cookie pack, that is Oreo. I have taken the chocolate flavor. I usually take the vanilla flavor, but I didn't get it today. So this is fine. And I also need the tutti frutti kind of a cake. Any kind of a white cake is fine. Even a pound cake is fine, or a milk cake is fine. So I'm taking around 2 to 3 Oreos and crushing it using a Ziploc bag. It has to be in a chunky texture after you crush it. Do not powder it. So this is how it should look. You need to have a short stout glass for this, or even a flat glass bowl will be fine. So I am adding the milk bread or any kind of white bread as a base bed. The second layer will be the custard that we made. Now comes the Oreo chunks, loaded with Oreo chunks. Add the custard layer again. Add few chunks of the cake again. Do not disturb the layer by pressing the cake. Just place it like very softly. The layer depends. If you have a tall glass, you can add more layers. Now you'll just fill it up with the custard. I'm gonna finish up the layers with this. Just to know that it is the Oreo custard pudding, I'm gonna garnish with the one Oreo cookie where the Oreo is also seen well. So these are the layers, you can look at it well. As a final garnish, I'm gonna add some more. Few chunks of the Oreo cookies and few chunks of the cake can be added. That is up to your option. Just to have a look that it is all made up of the cake and the Oreo, I'm adding that, and it also looks really nice. Now you need to refrigerate it well until it becomes set. So I'm going to leave it overnight and we will take it the next day. Don't forget to cover it. So over to the nut. It is very well soaked. It is better than the overnight soaking actually. I'm easily removing the peel. So I'm going to follow this method hereafter. So let me quickly remove the peels. And I already showed you the method of making the vatlappam, so I'm not covering it up. You can check out my iCard or the description box for the vatlappam recipe. So time to steam the vatlappam. Last time I used aluminium foil to cover it, but actually it was hard for me to remove the vessel from the cooker. So this time I'm just using a lid. The only thing is you should not allow the water to seep inside the vatlappam. So this is simple and better. Now you can see the mess. My dining table is cluttered with so many things. I need to remove everything, clean it up well, and arrange the dining table for the next day morning, so that the peaceful Bakrit will start with a clean dining table. So now that is clean like a mirror, my reflection is seen. Since it's a festival time, let me add some decoration into the table, which I do not do much. And some sweet for the celebration. So all done, time to sleep, take rest. Tomorrow I need to get up early. So today is Bakrid. This is day 3. The weather was really cold and chill. For mornings, we usually have kuri paniyaram. We do not make anything with meat because we'll be filled with meat after we get our kurbani done. So we want to keep it simple and we'll be too busy also. So kuri paniyaram with coconut chutney will be most of our Eid morning breakfast. We make fresh batter the before day for this kuri paniyaram, then only it will be fluffy and nice, and we add that into the pan and make the kuri paniyaram ready. As soon as we finish eating this, we will go for the kurbani process. The men will be mostly in the kurbani area and they will be filled with too many work, and we will also be doing the biryani work and household work. So they are all having their breakfast now. We take these kind of vessels from home to fill the meat inside that, and we will get it back home and we will distribute it to all our relatives and the needy people. Now I am also going along with my husband and my father-in-law because Mishra did not see the goat at all. I wanted to show her before it gets cut. So we are also going, and we will get back home because the cutting process, the cleaning process and all will take like around 1.5 hours. So we have a lot of work, I have a lot of work, so I need to get back home and do that. So my husband will drop me back. So now we are going to the Kurbani place. So we almost reached. We need to drop our car here and we need to walk for some distance. I didn't want to show the goat in the tied situation as it might not be very comfortable for a lot of you. My husband did the Kurbani process and he is back. The slaughtering process has to be in a very smooth way, and if only the person knows it well, they have to do it. I do not want to go deep into this topic. So me and Mishra are going back home and I need to quickly prepare all the things I need for my biryani. I'm peeling off the skin of the onion and I will cut them into 2 halves and keep it ready. So whenever I need for the process of making raita or making biryani or any other things, I will just slice them in my food processor then and I will add it into the vessel. That prevents lot of tears from my eyes. It is a lifesaver for me, really. I cannot cut so many onions at a time at all. So yeah, thanks for the food processor. So my husband is back home and the meat is come. We need to clean it up and divide it into 3 portions. My biryani making process continues, and the dividing process and the cleaning one will be done by my mother-in-law. She takes care of it. I already told it has to be divided into 3 portions. 1 portion can be kept for the home use for us, and the other portion has to be given for the relatives who are not cutting the kurbani, who are in a needy position. and the next portion will be given to any person who are in need. It might be relatives or any other person, that doesn't matter. This is how the Qurbani is distributed. Though the meat is cleaned by the shopkeeper, that will not be done properly. We have to give the relatives or the needy people in a good form. So we do the cleaning process much better, and we divide it into different vessels, and we go give them in person. My husband and my father-in-law are really hungry, so I'm giving the vatlapam to them. Vatlapams are usually served in the morning itself, and they will get over in the morning itself. The distribution of meat differs from place to place. In villages, in our native town and all, it will be different. But in city, in Chennai, it will be different. We cannot give it to too many people. And the goat slaughtering will also happen at home itself in the villages, in my hometown and all. Here we cannot do it in apartment system, so we do it in the shop itself, meat shop itself. So as a brunch, we are preparing the liver and the split from the goat. That is like the booster for us to work for the whole day. By the time we finish our distribution work and preparing the biryani and all that, it will take around 4:30 to 5 o'clock for us to eat our lunch. So in order to make us healthy throughout this work, and not only for us, even for the men, we make this brunch. So into that liver, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of pepper, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, salt according to the need. Mix it well. This is around 1 kg of liver along with the split. Adding some oil into that. Simply wash the spatula and add some water. Pressure cook it for 2 to 3 whistles, and there will be some water. Allow it to boil and evaporate, and that will be done. Check out all my ingredients, detailed ingredients in the description box. So they both left for the distribution work. Now I'm starting with raita making, because that has to be cold and the biryani has to be hot. That is the perfect combo. So adding around 3 sliced onion into the dish, adding salt, some fresh cream and coriander leaves, mixing it well, and then adding the thick curd into it, and let it get refrigerated until we serve the biryani. So around 2.5 kg meat is cleaned and kept ready for the biryani. Adding half a liter of oil into the pressure cooker. Adding around 15 cardamom, 1 tablespoon of cloves and 10 cinnamon sticks. Allow it to splutter for some time. We always use coconut oil for our biryani. We do skip the ghee also. We do not use ghee for this. And the coconut oil gives the real essence to the biryani. I believe that. Adding around 200 grams of sliced onion. Let it cook really well. Meanwhile, we will add around 5 to 6 green chilies, whole green chilies, and some rock salt according to your need. When the onion becomes translucent, we shall add 200 grams of ginger garlic paste. So the proportion is, for 1 kg of biryani, it's 100 grams of ginger garlic paste. So it is 2 kg of biryani. So I'm adding 200 grams of ginger garlic paste. I also added tomatoes, that is around 100 grams, and 1 bunch of coriander leaves. For the masalas, I added around 4 teaspoons of chili powder. You can adjust it according to your need, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Once that is all mixed well, we shall add the meat into this and mix it well. Do check the description box for the detailed ingredients list if you have some confusion. I also added 400 ml of curd into this and allowed it to cook. Now the gravy has come to a boil. Now we shall pressure cook it for 2 whistles until the mutton becomes tender. After the mutton is done, we have to transfer it to the deksa because we need a larger pot for 2 kg. Adding 2 liters of water and 2 kg of rice into this, mixing it well until the rice becomes cooked. Now this is half cooked, so I am stirring it and allowing it to cook until it's completely done. Close it and cook. Meanwhile, I have to pack all the mutton to be freezed for our use. So I'm quickly packing it in the aluminium foil. These are old aluminium foil, so I just want to use it up and throw it away. And for Mishra, she will not eat the biryani well, so I prepared some white rice so I can mix it up with some biryani and give it to her, so that becomes a flavored rice for her. The biryani is done. It's so hot and nice. It is made with jeera samba rice. And let me have some sweet. I'm so hungry. They both have not returned back home yet. It is already 3 o'clock. We shall wait for them to come. I just got a call from my husband to pack all the biryani for our friends to get distributed. So I'm packing some of them, giving some to the neighbors and taking some for my friends. This time the nearby friends are not in town, so most of them are in their native, so less packages were distributed. Back home it is already 5 o'clock and having our late lunch. Since it is lockdown after 6, we couldn't go to any of our relative place or the people who are residing away from us. So it was a tiring day, but still it is Bakrid, so had a short nap after this. We totally forgot about the custard that we made. It was already 7:30 and we had that now. Since we got up very early in the morning, we had to sleep very early. So we did not have too much things for the dinner. I finished up with some fruits and Jafar did not have anything actually. So that ends today's video. Do tell me how did your Bakrid went on in this lockdown period in the comment section. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram and Pinterest. That ends today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, bye-bye.